Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to begin by saying this. Yesterday, I did analysis on one of the tweets where Evangelist Benny Hinn blocked one of his followers. And from that analysis, I now understand why William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua were able to maneuver and hoodwink Kenyans by just hiding in the church, and they voted for him. And I now understand that we have those who still behave like the Pharisees and the scribes, the teachers of law. I also realized that the religion that we profess today is not a religion of love and hope. It is what I call religious intimidation and threat, where you cannot question the man of God in quotes. The last time I checked, God invites people so that they can reason together. Hii yenyu ya kusema someone cannot be questioned, but that's a story for another day. Something is happening in Mount Kenya, and very soon the chickens will come home to roost. UDA MPs feel hit as KRA moves to tax avocado farmers. Very quickly, I want us to go and read a communication from Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba, who is the MP of Githunguri constituency. This is what she's saying. Dear avocado farmers, the electronic tax receipt, in brackets the e-teams, was voted and passed by MPs who are now attending meetings telling you not to pay taxes. Let them go to Parliament and change the Finance Act, which they passed in unison, if they mean business. Kumeshikana kidogo. That is a communication from Gathoni Wamuchomba. I want us to discuss that. But before that, there is another communication from Aaron Cheruiyot, who is the majority leader in the Senate. Aaron is saying this: all farmers are equal. Mighty farmers pay all their due taxes and levies, tens of billions annually. What is special about these farmers, we are being told, shouldn't be taxed. It's free lunch for all of us, or we all pay. No special meals to some. By reading those two communications, those two tweets, already it has painted a picture for you. This is our penultimate day for the 100 shillings challenge to go towards the humanitarian support for Maureen, the lady you see there who was injured and tortured by her boss in Lebanon. She's back, traumatized, injured, and grounded. We have been trying to source for funds. This has run for 1 week, and we are closing tomorrow. Anybody who feels touched, because Maureen needs to go back to the hospital, she's grounded, and she needs to survive with her one kid. So you only have today and tomorrow. If you're willing to support, kindly do it today or tomorrow so that we hand over to her. Thank you very much for those who have contributed. May God bless you as we continue with this. Apparently, a few months ago, or some months ago, members of parliament, especially those who belong to the Kenya Kwanza team passed in Parliament the Finance Act, which is now operational. In that act, there were heavy taxations and levies, including the 16% levy on fuel products, including the housing levy that has become very controversial. When they were passing this, they accused the opposition of trying to sabotage Ruto's administration, of trying to sabotage Ruto's development agenda. Now, things are getting thicker because a few days ago, the Kenya Revenue Authority officials were sent to Mount Kenya to go and sensitize the avocado farmers how to use the e-teams, because it is now a requirement that anytime you sell your avocado at the production level, there is a receipt that you must produce, so that when the KRA officials come, they will simply see this. Otherwise, it will be a breach of our laws. Now, when they were in the middle of trying to explain to the avocado farmers what they should do, because it is now law, they were distracted and they were chased away. And I remember one of the members of parliament, the member of parliament of Gatanga, Muriu, is called Muriu, is the one who stood firm and incited the farmers not to pay the 3 tax levy that has been put on avocado. And he told them they should not pay this. And a number of Mount Kenya members of parliament are now crying foul, and they are telling the government to be very disingenuous, and they're saying that this is wrong. And this is why Wamuchomba was telling them that the very members of parliament who are now holding meetings and telling them not to pay taxes are the ones who passed this law. And Aaron Cheriot is telling them that when he says my farmers, he means farmers from Rift Valley are paying all their dues and taxes. And is referring to the farmers from Mount Kenya as them, and is asking what is so special about these farmers from Mount Kenya that they should not pay taxes. Yet the members of parliament passed this in unison. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel if you're watching for the first time. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we do a video like this. Help us share our videos. And to all our subscribers, I want to thank you in a very special way. Poor policies of the Kenya Kwanza regime is now dawning very slowly on the Mount Kenya team, both the leaders and the supporters. And I would want to hear that song, Sipangwingwi. Like one of the bloggers put it, he says, DJ niweke ile ngoma na usiweke chiki chiki chiki. These people passed this law, and when they were doing that, they were very happy, and they controlled parliament, both the upper and the lower chamber, and they were happy as the Azimio members of parliament tried to oppose it, but they were overwhelmed by the numbers. Now they are the first victims, and they are now crying foul. Wamuchomba was the only member of parliament from Mount Kenya who decided to oppose this bill, and she made it very clear that it was going to be very injurious to the people of Githunguri, the people she represents. Now she's the only person and she's reminding them that this was passed by the members of parliament. Number 2, if these people are serious, they should only go back to parliament to reverse the laws. They should not pretend that they are now holding meetings. It is a fallacy, because there is no amount of meeting that will change the law that they passed. And this kind of fallacy and hoodwinking Kenyans is what Gathoni is asking, and she's telling them off. an eye-opener to the people who are being hoodwinked every day. There's no way members of parliament would go pass a law with a lot of pride without looking at the aftermath. This is now the result. Let me tell you something. If you look again at what Wamuchomba was doing, she's trying to advocate for 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote. And she's not just talking outside. Look at this tweet. She says, "Today I appeared in the Constituency Development Committee in Parliament to defend my proposal to amend the CDF Act to introduce population as a parameter to be used in sharing resources in the constituencies." Look at that. The 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote that the Mount Kenya rejected, led by Rigathi Gachagua and all the other members of parliament who are opposing Uhuru Kenyatta. Now they are coming back to their senses that they need the 1 man, 1 shillings, 1 vote. But Wamuchomba is not only talking about it here outside and holding meetings. She took her proposal to parliament, because kazi ya mjumbe ama mbunge ni kuongea kwa bunge yenyewe. You cannot pretend that you're now coming outside and talking to people. Those are campaign gimmicks, and Kenyans must understand. And I like what Githoni is doing, because when she realizes that she's convinced about something, she stands firm for it. She's in parliament pushing for more revenue, and she wants population to be used as a parameter. Wamuchomba is the only member of parliament who is free, because she broke from the chains of order, and she's now very free. She advocates issues very freely. All the other members are entangled. They're still chained. They're slaves, and that is why they will make a lot of noise, but when it comes to parliament, they vote. They're like a remote control. They vote that which their boss wants. Until they break from this chain, until they decide to emancipate themselves from this mental slavery where they cannot think for themselves, the people of Mount Kenya will suffer, because they elected members of parliament to represent them. Now, the members of parliament cannot speak for them. They elected members of parliament. They elected William Ruto, not because of the police, but because they wanted to punish Uhuru Kenyatta and to take Raila to Bondo. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you've even realized that now the members of parliament or the leadership from Rift Valley, they are saying it is either free lunch for all of us or all of us pay. Not that like some areas pay the taxes and the others are exempted. Na kimeumana. Let us be very honest with each other before we elect our members of parliament. Let us give them a message to do what we want. Members of parliament who are now crying foul and holding meetings, they had an opportunity to reject this bill, but they refused. Kimewaramba, as Kenyans would say.